What you think about that? What you think about anything? What you think about you? What you think about me? What you think about that? What you think about that?
Good morning and happy summer solstice. I'm heading out on a big trip today. Not with the family this time. They have to stay back because the kids are still in school. But instead this time, I'll have my good buddy Michael joining me, who I've done some really fun trips with, both to Peru a couple years ago and Havasupai last year. Before we fully get into the trip, I want to send a shout out to Seasucker for sponsoring this trip. I've been using them for years now. Absolutely love their products, like this brand new double Rotopax gas mount, as well as some other really cool products that I'll be showing you later in the video. So for this trip, we are heading off to Montana. At least that's what we think at this point. But as you're gonna find here pretty soon, the weather had different plans. So we're on the drive. I picked up these pork rinds yesterday as a road snack, kind of a healthier snack. They are so strong, their lime flavor. as he's making the bitter beer face right now. They're delicious, but man are they strong. Even though the bag says chili lime, lime is definitely the main character, and it hits you as if you just bit into a fresh lime. It's pretty wild, but we found later that it worked great after hours of being on the road driving and you're starting to get a little tired. Eat just one of those and man, it wakes you up. Way better than a Monster or a Red Bull. But besides eating snacks to wake you up, it's also good to have little stops to stretch your legs, get some fresh air, and we found a pretty cool spot here in Sandpoint, Idaho that we thought was worth stopping at. So we took a quick little detour off the freeway here in Sandpoint, Idaho, because there's the Statue of Liberty here. I've never seen the Statue of Liberty. This might be a slight different size, we will see, but see how cool it is. So maybe just a little bit smaller than the real one. Just a little bit. I saw the Statue of Liberty. I don't need to go to New York now. Did it. So now we are gonna get back in the Jeep. We have roughly a little more than 3 hours to get up to Whitefish, Montana in our cabin. We do have, I think, one more stop at a really cool suspension bridge and waterfall as we get into Montana. And I went there like, it's probably been a decade ago that I've been there, so I'm excited to see it again. I've not spent a lot of time in Idaho, and the time that I have spent has been in the lower half. The upper half is so narrow, and I'm always usually heading over to the Rockies or Montana, that I just drive right through here and forget to do a little bit more exploration. So I am definitely gonna have to make a point to get back out here and explore this part of Idaho. So if you're a local or you know the area and you have some recommendations, please pass them on. I would love to come back and do a video just on northern Idaho. And speaking of that, we are already in Montana. That didn't take long, and we are to our first stop here in Montana, to a beautiful waterfall that I can't wait to see again, and I can't wait to show you because I think it's one of those spots that you just drive on by and you don't even know it's there. Just got to Kootenai Falls, and the first thing I noticed is the smell. Oh, there's a whole bunch of ponderosa pine out here, and they have the most amazing scent. If you've ever noticed that, maybe you haven't. Next time you round up a whole bunch of ponderosa pine, take a big old whiff. It smells amazing. I grew up just west of Yosemite in Central California, and we had ponderosa pines everywhere, and they have this really sweet smell of vanilla, and I just grew up with that smell, so anytime I'm around them and I smell it, it just gives me all those warm, fuzzy feelings. But enough with all the sappy talk, pun intended. Let's get back to Kootenai Falls. This waterfall is located just outside of Libby, Montana. And it's known for being the largest undammed waterfall in Montana and has one of the largest flow rates in America.
Intense rafting section here.
The funny thing about what Michael just said about the rafting here is that if you're a 90s movies fan like I am, there's a classic movie called The River Wild, and that final scene in that movie was actually filmed in these rapids straight ahead of me. So much water. That big fall's awesome. Whole bunch of little small ones over there. Been really fun to kayak or white water. I still haven't done that before. I need to. After enjoying the falls from below, it was time to come see them from the top. And I get asked a lot how I shoot these kinds of videos, and I use the Insta360. Although this time it didn't do the stitch very well and just took my head off. In places and scenes like this, I love to get up close and just really take it all in. But I do so with a massive amount of respect for just how powerful these places are. With all the wet rock that can get slick so easy and can take you so fast off your feet, it's something that I always have in the back of my head because these adventures are so much more fun when you get to come home and tell your friends and family about them. So enjoy them, but be careful. How cool is this?
Very cool. Wow.
Yeah, this place is super cool. But now, we're done seeing the waterfall. We're gonna head over to the suspension bridge that I don't remember from my last time here, but I'm sure it'll be cool. A lot of movement. I was at first. Michael is not a fan of heights. We found that out in Havasupai last year. I, on the other hand, love heights. They don't bother me at all. Yeah, exactly. So that was a totally worthwhile stop. We were definitely here much longer than we had planned on. We both thought, I think this was gonna be like a 15-minute stop. We've probably been here for a good hour now, but I'm not mad about it because that was absolutely beautiful. It was way better than I remember visiting. Man, it's probably been 13 years or longer. I don't remember exactly, but that was cool. Now we're gonna rush back up to the Jeep, and we still have a couple hours left to get to our cabin, hopefully before dark. So as I've been driving, Michael's been doing research for us and looking at the weather. We've come into a bit of wetness. So it is June 20th today, and tonight and tomorrow, they are calling for a winter storm watch up north in Glacier National Park, all the way down into Yellowstone area. They're saying in some places could see 2 feet of snow, which is wild. So it's potentially going to change our plans for the hike we were supposed to do tomorrow and the off-roading we were supposed to do in South Montana the next day. So figuring all that out. But the good news is we're only about 3 minutes from the cabin, so I'm excited about that. I haven't mentioned anything about the cabin as far as specifics yet, besides that one quick clip that you might have noticed in the intro. I've been fortunate enough to stay in some really amazing cabins over the years, but this one is super, super unique, as you're about to see. We made it! A boat in the trees! How cool is that? The weather is leaving a little bit to be desired. Some nice sunshine would be quite nice, but it's pretty cool. Let's go check it out. This is super, super cool. Got a nice little living space here. Down here. That's pretty cool. So that was bed number 2. Are you too tall for that?
I don't know, we'll find out.
Let's go up to the master bedroom. Ooh, I get to steer my bedroom. Man, I wish Asher was here right now.
Oh,
He would
love it.
He would love this. Like, you got a steering wheel.
This thing shakes a bit.
Does it? But man, Asher would love this. I'm really bummed he's not here. That's really cool. After getting settled into this amazing boat cabin from the Montana Treehouse Retreat, we ended up having some dinner and then spent some time on our phone trying to figure out what we were going to do with the weather. And after a couple hours of going over all the options, I think we finally made a decision. But for now, it's bed. We will see you in the morning. But we have really enjoyed our time at this boat cabin. Definitely a super unique stay and great for the whole family. This would easily fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people probably. So if you're in Montana, heading to Glacier National Park or whatever up here in Whitefish, definitely check this place out. It's pretty cool. After going over all the options last night, Michael and I decided that it just wasn't safe to continue on with the original plan of hiking and off-roading there in Montana. With the threat of 2 feet of snow coming in, it just didn't sound fun or safe to do some of the things we were wanting to do. So after looking at the weather and talking to Tiffany, who was sitting down in Wyoming kind of waiting to figure out what we were going to do, we decided the weather looked better down there, so we are going to head down to the Tetons, which is fantastic because I have never been there before. But first, I'm hungry, and you know me, I gotta find a good bakery, and this one had a pretty good rating. I also knew pretty quickly that it was going to be good based off the way it all looked, but also it was packed, and that's always a good sign. So that bakery was packed, but everything looked really good, which made it a really hard decision on what to get. But I got, to stay mostly healthy, I got a quiche to start, and it was delicious. And then to be not healthy, I got this rhubarb streusel cinnamon roll thing, and it's pretty good. It's worth the extra calories. And when you're traveling, you have to go off diet a little bit and experience all the good things like that. So yeah, cheers to this. And Michael's in Safeway right now getting some food for the day, and then we are on the road. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bummed that we're now heading south away from Montana. I was really looking forward to the couple of adventures we had planned here. But at the end of the day, safety comes first, and I just don't think those would have been safe and not as much fun as we were hoping they were going to be with all the weather that was moving in. But also, I am so excited to see Wyoming. I've never spent any time down there, so I'm pumped, and I'm looking forward to it. So we are about a little more than 2 hours out from the Tetons, and we can finally see them out in the distance, and it's making me very excited.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be cool. I came to the Grand Tetons just once before, a few years ago with my family. When we got there, we unfortunately came right with a big storm, and so we couldn't see any of the mountains. We were hoping to see them in the morning, but as soon as I woke up, I just could smell in the air immediately that it was smoky. Opened up the tent door to find just orange as could be outside, and again could not see the mountains. So being able to finally see these mountains has been a long time coming, so I am stoked to say the least about the next few days and getting to be here. Even though we got unlucky with the Montana part of the trip, it is all being made up for right now with views like this. The wildflowers are out, and I am so stoked about it. After another long 9-10 hour day, whatever it was, we finally hit dirt, and that means we are almost to our campsite. And there's Tiffany in her brand new Bronco Sport. I'm excited to finally see it. Well, hello!
Hi.
It's only taken us 2 full days of driving to finally see you.
The Grizzlies don't get me anymore.
You're safe now. We're here. Over the last couple of nights, Tiffany had been camping just solo in grizzly country, which made her very, very nervous. So she couldn't wait for us to finally join her at camp to not have to be as concerned about being alone with potential bears. We made it! So last minute, saw that a friend of mine was here, and he already had this amazing camp spot because Tiffany, I am so appreciative. She drove around for a while today trying to find a good camp spot, but they were all taken because it's Saturday night in June. But fortunately, a buddy had already saved the spot, and he let us camp here tonight with him. So now we get this amazing spot. So that's pretty cool. It's good to have friends all over the place. I absolutely love the huge variety of friends that I've made through this community of off-roading, overlanding, hiking. It's just amazing to have friends that you just run into randomly like this in the middle of the Tetons. And I don't say that in a way that I'm trying to brag. I'm actually saying that in hopes that I might inspire you to, instead of just doing trips like this solo or just your family, which is great, and there's definitely a time and place for that, but dive into the community wherever you are, and I think you'll end up finding some of the best friends you will ever find. I've been fortunate enough to make a lot of friends that I go out on solo trips like this, as well as some really great family friends, both of which just really enrich trips like this. I cannot believe this spot. Look at that sky and that view. I've enjoyed some pretty beautiful camp spots, and I think this one might be up there in like my top 5. This is pretty amazing. Just wish my family was here. Would have made it just that much sweeter. Although I am definitely already missing them and wish they were here, I'm still so excited to be here with my friends and for all the adventures we have planned. And now that we have camp set up, it's time to start getting dinner ready. First, before it gets dark, I'm real excited to try out this new mount from Seasucker with the Devos Lite. This pairing for camp setup is definitely going to be one of my new favorites for all my camping trips, as well as, you can see it up there to the right, my paper towel holder from Seasucker that honestly never leaves my Jeep. I just leave it in all the time because it's just so handy always having paper towels in the Jeep, especially with kids. But now it's time to get dinner ready, and you probably already guessed it, I'm gonna make tacos. That's what I always make because they're delicious. This little lighter is like the best $15 on TikTok I have ever spent. I love this thing. All right, don't lie. Who thought that was a real one? And I was about to light my camp stove in a very unique way. So the one mistake I made is I never cook on a table. This has a tripod that's underneath it, but I totally forgot it. Like, failed on that. But fortunately, with my front runner rack, this table is always up there, so it came in really handy. Tiffany's up first. That's one way of heating up a tortilla. I want to thank you so much for watching my video, this part 1 of a much bigger series. Make sure, if you don't already, like and subscribe, because the next video coming out soon will be all about the Tetons, and then after that, a whole other part of Wyoming that I've never been to at all before, but I can't wait to share all of it. So definitely be on the lookout. More adventures coming soon.